biggest thing on project is planning and making sure that you have a clear understanding of what it is that you need to be doing for the year. There's several steps that we do to make sure that that happens. The very first thing we do at the beginning of every year is we create an annual planning calendar for our client. And what we do there is we review our budget, and the budgets we prepare have line item detail in them. Most budgets we see from our competitors are simply a list of accounts and some numbers across it. No explanation of what's included in that account, how they even arrived at that number that we're going to spend $10,000 in grounds improvements. Well, on what? We will put into our budget that we're allowing for this project for $5,000 and this other project for $3,000, and it explains in the budget itself what it's for. That helps us in the planning process because now we can review the budget and see, well, we were going to spend this money on this project and that project. We need to make sure that that's now part of our plan for the coming year. We also review the reserve study to see what projects were in the past that we haven't done yet, which ones are scheduled for this year and the next 3 years. And we look at that and see, and that forces us to assess the property. So if we see that asphalt replacement was scheduled to be happening next year, well, let's look at the asphalt. Is that really a project that maybe should be done this year instead, given its condition, or are we okay waiting until next year? And we'll look at each of those components that are cited in the reserve study and note those. And then we take that information and plan out the year. So we'll look at those and say, well, these are the projects that we are going to recommend that the board consider this year, and then we schedule them out in the year when we want them accomplished, and then work backwards from there. So that way, if we know we want to have our asphalt done by July, well, that means I have to have bids back in time for the board to approve at their late May board meeting, which means I need to have a specification prepared in April so that I can go out to bid and meet with contractors and get those bids back in time. Now I've laid out my plan for how we're going to get there. And that's real important, because if you're deciding in June, do we replace our asphalt or not, you're too late. And contractors, by that point, a lot of times, their calendars are booked, pricing gets to be more expensive because they've already got a lot of work. When you go to a contractor in February to talk about pricing, they haven't booked a lot of work for the year, and they're more open to giving you a better discount, we think. And then you also get on the calendar early, you get the work done early, and you're not scrambling at the end of the season wondering, am I going to get this project done before the snow flies?